Hello and welcome. What I'm going to try to do is make a canister Damascus that is 1080 powdered steel and copper wire. So I'm going to explain real quick, what we're going to try to do. So what I got here is the canister. It's the beginning of a canister. Well, all it is square tubing that I got from Home Depot. 1.25 by 1.25 square tubing. So I cut a piece of that. This is what we start with. Then I made 2 little caps that fit inside there. It's gonna close off both ends. And I cut those out of an old saw blade, so recycling. And then once those are welded on there, they're gonna be one's gonna be welded on the end there. Then we'll stand it up, and we're gonna fill it with this beautiful 1080 steel powder. See, or 1084 actually. 1084 powdered steel. Look at how, isn't that pretty? So we're gonna put that in these copper wires. This is 12 gauge copper wire, cut into pieces. I'm gonna put that inside the canister with the powder, canister here, with these inside with the thing welded on the cap. Then we'll weld the cap on the other side, and the caps go in a little bit so that they're inset and then welded in. And then weld this stick on it, be like a big lollipop, so that I can control it in and out of the forge, and hammer this and keep hammering this so I condense it and flatten it out. Now it's got to get hot enough to actually turn this powder into solid steel. I've done that before, so that part I'm not worried about. I've never mixed copper in with the powdered steel, so I know I can make a solid blade out of the powdered steel. But now we're adding the copper, and what I'm hoping the copper is going to do is what I've seen it doing is copper almost acts like silver in the sense that it's like a flux, so it just melts and it sticks to the steel. So when I grind the blade down, even though the copper layers will be super thin, but they'll be in there, so it should really, we should have some copper veins in a solid 1084 steel knife. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to be part scientist, part blacksmith, part alchemist, and I don't know if it's going to work, So you're going to, if I fail or if I succeed, I'm going to post it either way. So this is part 1. This is the beginning of our journey. I got all this done. Next is welding all that up and then putting the steel in there, and then it's the actual forging process. So we're gonna do it in parts. So the next part is the welding, which I need my friend for. So as soon as he's free, hopefully sometime over this weekend, we're gonna weld it up. And then I got a big tank. I got a big propane tank, so I can keep it, heated for. Because what you want to do before you even start, you want to soak it for about 30 minutes in there. So that lollipop's just gonna sit in the forge, and I'll turn it like I'm roasting or basting a turkey or something, and I'm gonna heat that steel up before I even hit it for the first time. And then the first few hits is gonna be real fast, and then back in the forge. You've got to keep it up at that welding temperature. So it's it's gonna be fun. Hopefully this works. And what happens is the canister is going to keep that copper from just melting and pouring out, because it's going to be a sealed canister. So this will get, and as you forge it, you got to try to just condense this on itself. So you'll see me keep spinning it. First I'll make it into a smaller square, then I'll flatten it out, and it'll be a solid piece when we're done. And then some people put white out inside the canister. I'm not worried about that, because this is a soft steel, and once I hammer that thing it's solid. This will be very thin layer, and I'll just grind it off. And I'll know when I'm at the 1080 because the 1084 because it looks much different. When it's you know, either acid etched or whatever, I'll be able to tell if there's any of this steel in the 1084, you know, and the copper should be pretty wild. So, you know, come along. We're trying to mix the art of Bob Ross and forging, and you know, we're doing this together. We'll learn together. Hope to see you through the whole thing.